Hey everyone, my name is Stacy. I'm here with my friend Barry.
Good to see you, Stacy.
Hey Barry, I have a picture here. I want you to describe what you see in this picture.
Wow, it looks like chaos. It looks like people in India, but they're all covered with different colors of paint. It's just one of the most bright pictures I've ever seen. Everybody's colored with paint.
This is a picture of an awesome thing called the Festival of Holi. The Festival of Holi, also sometimes called the Festival of Spring or the Festival of Colors.
I can see why.
And I have a story how this started.
Cool. Let me hear it.
Once upon a time, there was a king, and this king lived in India, and this king wanted to be the most powerful king in the whole world. He wanted everyone to pray just to him. And there was a boy, a brave little boy actually, named Prahlad. And Prahlad was not afraid of the king and refused to pray to him. And this made the king really, really angry. So the king tried to scare Prahlad with all kinds of mean words, and it didn't work. Prahlad still refused to pray to the king and say that he was the most powerful. And then the king started to get kind of mean. In fact, he started to think up ways to maybe hurt Prahlad. So the king talked to his sister, and her name was Holika. And Holika had a magic power. She could sit in a fire without getting hurt. So the king made this boy, Prahlad, sit on Holika's lap in the middle of a fire. And his plan was that Holika would be fine and Prahlad would not. And instead, a magical thing happened in that Holika burned up, she disappeared in the fire, but Prahlad was fine. He was totally fine. That was because he had such a belief in his own self and in who he wanted to pray to. And that meant that in the end, good was able to triumph over evil. You'll notice the sister in the story, the magical sister who disappears in the fire, her name is Holika, and she kind of inspired this festival of Holi, a Hindu festival of Holi, which is a spring festival. It is also called the Festival of Spring or the Festival of Colors. It happens on March 18th in 2022, and this is such a fantastic Hindu festival. It is all about new beginnings and kind of this idea of spring. It is about forgiving people that maybe you have been mad at. It is about love, but more than anything, it is about playing and laughing. Playing and laughing. So fun. Fun is one of the biggest parts of this, Barry.
So I like the fun aspect of it, and the thing that's cool about Holi is the night before they kind of kick it off with a big fire. There's a big bonfire, and people throw wood in there and all kinds of stuff, grain and corn, and it's just it's a gathering thing, and people can feel that anticipation that the party is going to start the next day, and it just builds everybody up.
Well, this fire is important. It was an important part of the story, but it's also important because back in the day, people would take the ashes from the fire and they would actually smear them on their heads and their faces. And then over time, that ash got more and more colorful, switched to paint. And now what happens on the actual Festival of Holi, Berry?
So people are dancing, people are singing around, and people of all ages go out in the streets for this party. And what they do is they throw paint on each other, right? Which is a cool thing. Everybody gets involved. They have fun throwing and smearing paint all over each other. It's a thing that works for everybody, and that's why it's called the Festival of Color. People use squirt guns and they use water balloons, and they find ways to just get everybody messy with color. And it's just this celebration of all the color of spring, and it just radiates through the whole village.
That sounds awesome. So it's a big party where we're going to have colored powder, paint powder, other kinds of paint, colored water in a squirt gun, water balloons. That sounds like an incredible party. One of the things I love best about that is that kind of everyone is equal on this day. It is a lot about equality. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, how much money you have, if you're a man or a woman. all bets are off. Everyone is treated equally in this big party. There's singing, there's dancing, the streets and the parks are full of all of these people.
So it's a Hindu festival. Its origin is Hindu, but it is kind of spread all over the world because people like to celebrate, and that's kind of the mixing of the different cultures and of the different religions, and that's why when people get to know other people, then they might celebrate Christmas even though they didn't celebrate Christmas when they were little, or people might celebrate Holi because it's fun. So it's cool that now that we can see people in other parts of the world, we can see the best in other people, and we can see the great celebrations that they have and the great customs that they have, and so we can share in that fun with them. It's a spiritual form of gratitude, Holi, and it's also a spiritual renewing because it's springtime and we're forgiving people, but it's also fun, and I think that's what brings people to it.
I think so too. I think it's a lot about being part of a greater community. And just like maybe I don't necessarily identify as Christian, maybe I'm not a Christian, but I participate in parts of Christmas to be with my friends that have that belief. Holi is kind of like that. Maybe I don't identify as Hindu, but to support my Hindu friends and to remember that at the basis of this festival is still these spiritual principles of new beginnings, forgiving, and really connecting with other people.
Yeah, and it's beautiful when cultures meld together like this. And I think Holi really celebrates that by bringing all this color into it, and mixing of the colors, and that everybody gets involved in the colors. And I think that's what attracts people to it is that it's fun and it's celebratory, but it's showing the fun of spirit.
And a really cool way to learn a little more about Hinduism.
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. So as we move into spring, we hope that you embrace all of the colors in your life. Maybe you want to celebrate Holi, and we have an affirmation for that. Our affirmation today is, I love to play and celebrate.
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 All right. I think we should go find some paint powder.
Let's hit some paint and look out.
All right. Until next time, friends.